feel
think
like
with
it's scary.
I understand, I completely understand. You want to make sure that you're with somebody who has a good track record and everything. And I understand that it gave him pause. I get that. I mean, 100%. I mean, my
Hmm.
current boyfriend um has a child with his ex and they're not together anymore. So you have to ask yourself a question of, he left the woman that he was with even though they had a child. So, you know, that kind of, draws a pattern of just, how
Yeah.
what's his vision on family and things like that. And I get that. And I encourage that type of, you want to make sure that these people are healthy. What I don't encourage is that reaction of intentionally making her feel bad but you didn't tell him about it and you didn't do this and you didn't do that and you should feel and that and
Hmm.
2 years ago is a long time ago. That was recent and
Yeah.
you're a recent cheater and blah blah blah. I understand it gives him pause. And if he says, no, I can't be with a cheater for any reason, I get that. I get that. It's completely valid. However, making her feel bad about it when she was the one being honest, I don't agree with.
Yeah. No, with that I agree for sure. I said that and I'll say it again. Like his reaction was kind of poor. And you can, I don't know, maybe he was just taken aback and he didn't react well because he was just so shocked. Who knows? But I feel like that reaction was a bit uncalled for.
Yeah,
I can understand why he was feeling that way. I understand why he was taking pause. I do agree that the whole 2 year thing, it doesn't like I mean 2 years is a long time. No matter how fast they pass. But it just the way he went about it. And I feel like it is very admirable that she decided to share it with him and because she didn't have to.
yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
don't think that's something you can't again, it's very like you can't judge a person by every single thing they did in other relationships. And I think it is something important to talk about, but she didn't have to bring it up this early. She didn't have to be upfront about it. You know, it's like every relationship to itself. Like I don't like comparing relationships. You never know what goes on behind closed doors. You never know what happened. And it's like,
Absolutely.
I don't know, but I don't know what I would have done in that situation though. It's a I definitely wouldn't have made her feel bad about it though. It's like not the right reaction.
I I can tell you for sure how I would have reacted in that situation because I've been in that situation.
Hmm.
And I said, I need to take a moment to think about this. I'm not
Yeah,
angry.
which
I'm
is
not.
legitimate.
Yeah, it's just I need a moment to think about this. It's not. I actually said this isn't creating any positivity in me. It's I'm actually feeling quite negative about it. But I just want to take a step
Yeah.
back, have a think, and we had a huge talk about it. And it, cheating is not black and white. And I hate that.
Hmm.
You know, I would not advise against forgiving a cheater. Wait, no, let me rephrase that. I would not advise to forgive a cheater, full stop. But there
Yeah.
are exceptions to this where I would advise to talk about it with this person. What do you
Hmm.
consider cheating? You know, yes, having sex with somebody else is obviously cheating, but is the one night stand the same as an emotional relationship with somebody else that's ongoing, this colleague at work that you're having these deep conversations with, or
Yeah.
somebody that you kissed and are still talking to, or keeping in touch with your ex, or my ex-boyfriend actively sought out women's attention. And well, I mean, he did cheat on me, but those are different situations where he cheated on me with a woman and had an emotional affair and physical affair. But great guy. But most of the time, he would also
Lovely.
go, before he did that, for a couple of years, he would just talk to women and he would seek them out on Facebook and Instagram. And he was a DJ and he would, he would spin it in a, oh, but I'm a DJ, I'm sociable, I talk to a lot of people, it's fine, blah blah blah. And he would just talk to a bunch of women and kind of not flirt with him, but it was that grey area.
Mm.
And is that, I'm not, this is an open question. I'd be happy to get your feedback and the listeners' feedback of, is that better than the one night stand of, we haven't had sex in months, I cracked, it's not good but I cracked. What's worse, the seeking out attention constantly and taking time away from me, or the one night stand of sex, which can lead to more? Which one's worse?
I think they're both equally bad. Like
Right.
I feel like an emotional affair is cheating is such a
It's a
heavy
complicated
topic, and
subject.
it's very complicated. Personally, I don't think I would ever be able to forgive something like that. I feel like, especially, first of all, again, going back to the emotional, you're sort of uh you're creating a whole new deep connection and trust with someone else, where I feel like a lot of times that's even worse because you're sort of confiding in someone else, and that sort of takes away from your relationship, because instead of turning to them and talking to them, you're talking to someone else, and you're getting attached to someone else, which I feel like getting attached to a person is scarier for me than having sex with someone.
Oh,
Like it takes me a very long time to get attached to someone because it's scary, and losing them is scarier. On the other hand, though, I don't take sex lightly. I'm not that kind of person who can have a one night stand and enjoy emotionless sex. And I feel like sex in itself is such an emotional act. And when it's done right, and when you're in love with the person you're doing it, when you care about each other, when you have chemistry, it's like, and I talk with my boyfriend about this a lot. Like I feel like it's just as important as going out to dates, as connecting, as talking. It helps us connect on such a deep it's hard to explain. So I feel like when you're having sex with another person, it's suddenly, whether it's on the same emotional level or not, it sort of taints your experience with them. And I feel like it, so complicated.
I agree. And
But
we've been talking about this for probably 10 minutes now, and we haven't
yeah,
scratched the surface, and we've both got
I
our own
know.
experiences with it. So, this guy, Uche, just giving her a hard time about it. And she was saying she felt bad. She wouldn't do it again, but it happened and she's dealing with it, and he's just not happy that she's grown from it. He just needs her to feel horrible for the rest of her life. It's just,
Yeah,
if the guy that, so anyway, I don't like it. I don't agree with cheating. I don't think that it should be easily forgiven, but I think that,
yeah,
every situation is different and you want to have a conversation about it. And, I feel that her the way she was talking about it, of, I felt bad, but also I have needs and I felt bad about it, and I'm not going to do it again. I've grown from it, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it anymore. I think that's the best. She didn't kill
yeah,
a guy. She didn't lie about having AIDS. I mean, she cheated. She had sex with somebody else.
yeah,
She was in a relationship that didn't feel right for her. She made a mistake. That's that. You don't she doesn't need to beat herself up about it forever. And he's not the one.
yeah,
Her ex can be angry with her forever. That would be fine. But this isn't him.
yeah.
So
No, I think he's reacting a bit as if she cheated on him, which is kind of unfair.
exactly.
Um, I don't know. I feel like you have to also understand the person you're talking to and who they are, what their baseline is. If this is so out of character for them, then you can know much easily that it's not something that they do. It's just, it's very different from who they are. and it's a one-time thing and it happens and they're human and they made a mistake.
Yeah,
But if it's in part to who they are and they're kind of, all over the place and they just all the time put themselves in situations where they constantly do stupid things, then maybe I'd be more concerned. But again, you have to consider all of these things and also not react as if you're the person who's being cheated on.
exactly. It's, you're allowed, everybody's allowed. In French, we have an expression that I'm going to say and then translate, which is il y a le fond et la forme, which means le fond, which means like the contain the what's contained, like what's inside,
Mm-hmm.
and la forme, which is the shape. So basically, you have, it's talking about, you've got the water, which is the heart of the problem, and then you've got the container, which is the glass. And so
Yeah.
the water is having the feelings and everything, and so that can take any shape or form, but it's there and it has its place and it's legitimate that it's there. And then the container, the shape, is the glass, and you're the one that controls that. It's, how are you gonna serve up the water? Is it gonna, in what type of glass and what type of cup and what type of
Mm-hmm.
anything? And so nobody is arguing with the heart of the matter, but we are arguing that there is a way of delivering. And and
Mm-hmm.
so water, you want to be given water in a glass that's room temperature, that you can hold without being burnt or cut or whatever. You don't want to be thrown it in your face, and that's what happened. And
Yeah.
I agree with the feelings. I don't agree with the way it was delivered. And I'm sorry, but when you're in your 30s, this is something you should have learned. In your 20s,
Yeah.
it's fine, but when you're in your 30s, this is something that you have learned, and that's that.
Yeah. I feel like when you're in your 30s, you're already sort of more mature. You already know how to take things into proportion. You're not
Yep.
supposed to overreact and create drama. You're supposed to strive to drama-free life. That's what we do in our 30s.
Yeah.
We enjoy life without drama and, without creating it. So, ugh. But I feel like anyway, they're gonna end up together and he's gonna continue overreacting to different things. And
And
I
they're
don't know.
not going
I'm
to.
still sorry.
I agree, but I'm just saying that they're not going to make it.
Oh
They
no.
probably get married. I'm As of now, I'm unsure of it, but they are definitely, like in the reunion episode, they are definitely not making it. It's just,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still undecided to how long they'll make it or not, but I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that it's like this is not his baseline. That this is not how he always reacts, and he sort of was taken out of like
interesting.
I don't know. Who knows? But who knows? Because he
We'll
does
see.
seem like a good guy, but he was like I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know. It's like I feel like a lot of times a good guy is an act. So
Yeah, it's the entitlement of the good guys of, oh, I've got the moral high ground and I'm a nice guy and I'm
yeah.
not given dealt the bad hand and whatever. It's just
Anyway, should we move on to someone else?
let's move on. I want to move on to, so while we were talking, I looked up who Lydia made me think of, and it's Jacqueline.
Trying to remember who Jacqueline is.
Jacqueline is the one that got not married but engaged with Marshall, but is now living in a flat with Josh. You know,
Oh, I think I know you. The one who switched. They got engaged, and then
yeah,
she.
she
Okay, I
went.
did not like her one bit.
I did not like her either. I don't not like Lydia yet, yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they feel like that's they are the same character of the hyper energetic,
Yeah,
and which I'm not a fan of in general. But I was
yeah.
starting off not liking Lydia because of that energy she was giving off until
Mm-hmm.